This is an account of an odd gameplay I had during Sonic Adventure 2 for the Nintendo GameCube while playing on a modified build of the Dolphin emulator. A couple days after the event described below, I wrote a story based on memories, footage I recorded, and notes I jotted down. I've also put all my footage into one video posted on YouTube. Thank you for your time. I had recently gone to Wii hacking when an internet friend suggested I rip my own games to emulators. He sent me a tutorial that allowed me to use my Wii to put GameCubes onto an SSD, an SD card, which then I could put on the computer and use Dolphin, a GameCube Wii emulator, to play. This was very convenient for me because my play one side of my Wii was broken, and it's been years since I could play any of those old games. Being a Sonic fan I merely put Sonic Adventure 2 onto the Wii, launched a program called Clean Rip, and about 20 minutes later, it was done. I had never used Dolphin before, but eventually figured out and launched Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I eagerly configured my controls and started with the hero story, forcing myself immediately to City Escape. I played for days straight, only stopping to eat and sleep, go to my part-time job at the bakery. I was playing in Chow Karate, Chow Tiny delivered a spinning back kick to the opposer and won the match, granting me the final album in the game. I now have all the albums, all S rank, the secondary themes, and the free child gardens, the alternate costumes, everything in the game. That's when it dawned on me. This is the second time I've done this in my lifetime. It's time to put the game to rest. I just couldn't do it though. I was so addicted to this game. I had to keep playing. So I launched the website, typed in Google search, unlockable secrets to Sonic Adventure 2. I found some hidden artwork about some of the Halloween costumes you used to be able to get back in the Dreamcast days with the DLC you used to have, and some new items for the Chow Garden. But one thing caught my attention though, a Maria Robotnik menu theme. My reaction was out of child. Oh my god, a Maria theme. I learned quickly that you had to have a Game Boy Advance to do this, and you need at least 30,000 rings. I had 50, so the issue is I didn't have a Game Boy Advance. I searched for the emulator solution. I found that someone, somewhere, made a modified version of Dolphin that could connect to the Visual Boy Advance emulator, a Game Boy Advance. I downloaded Sonic Adventure 2 ROM, launched the Visual Boy Advance M, then launched up Sonic Adventure 2 in the modified version of Dolphin. Then I went to the Child Garden, in both games to make sure it was connected. Then I went to the black market and success. Oh behold, the Maria theme was there. I bought it immediately, moved to my office to apply it. The Maria theme, but when I did, the game locked up and I saw the Windows have a message. Dolphin.exe has stopped working. Windows checking the checkout solution for the issue. It stayed for a few seconds, until the close program button showed up. All I could do is hope I didn't lose my progress. I relaunched the game and saw Maria in the background holding the post from Shadow's passcode scene. Maria's image was fighting and tearing the graphics. The logo was very broken. At times you could see parts of them. It looked like MS Paint garbage. But this was even more apparent when the opening movie started, showing the long bridge from Radical Highway. Maria still in the background, the graphics were still fine each other, as each of the other buildings and stars seemed very broken. Even the sky was harsh, and prototyped with sharp blue and blacks. The special effects in the scene, like when it flashed a lot of blue lights said Sonic the Hedgehog, it just played all these animations almost at regular speed. They were all done before it even showed Sonic. It looked really horrible, and the music didn't help either. The game was lagging ridiculously. I mean, it wasn't lagging bad. I had to lose Camtasia. That's how recording this phenomenon. The music was choppy and pitched, almost regular speed. Live and learn, I heard as the music finished, before the camera zoomed on Shout's face. I assumed since the lane work, it somehow made Maria's theme be over all the time. But after I got past the horrible scene of Shadow's opening his visible eyelid and broken colored body with Maria's graphics fighting him, Maria's theme was even on the menu. It was just the Shadow the Hedgehog theme I had on before I did all this. Naturally, I wanted to turn it on. But I found out I didn't even have the Maria theme. I was baffled. And if I didn't have a theme, Maria theme, what the hell's happened to the open movie? which means it also didn't save, meaning I had to do the whole thing again. I went to the stage select and went to the Chow Garden with Shadow because I like him. Ran into the normal Chow Garden and was about to launch VBA when I saw a new egg. I was frustrated, so I tried to throw the egg and let out some anger. When I picked up the egg, I decided to close Camtasia because the game was lagging a bit. When I threw the wall, left the Chow teleporter, the egg cracked and an odd Chow bounced back behind me. I turned around to look at it as the game froze. It looked like Chow with Maria's hair staring at Shadow. Shadow was also looking at Chow. I stared for a few seconds before I launched Task Manager to see if Dolphin was responding. Task Manager said it was running normally, so I running Control 8-bit. It was not normal for Task Manager to say a frozen program is running, so I decided to close Dolphin from Task Manager processes. Before I could close Dolphin, I took a screenshot while it was happening. I opened Paint to save the screenshot. I cropped it while I was there, because why not? I had a closer look at it. I thought it was something really faint. Went ahead to save the picture. Went over into something called Curve, which is color editing at paint.net. So I decided to use it there. Played around with it for 10 minutes, then I saw her. Maria was just staring down at Shadow. It was very faint, but she was there. On the right side of the screen, looking straight at Shadow, she was there. But this was enough to make me breathe heavily. My mind was blown. I didn't know what was happening. Should I continue my pursuit to unlock everything? Well, of course, today's my day off, and if I don't do this, what the hell will I do? I launched the game, skipped the horrible opening, and decided to start with the Maria theme. This is the time I wanted to see if I could find anything else wrong with the game. So with the story mode, Dark Story, Star Shadows Past, Radical Highway level, the cutscene of the Eggman watching Shadow stand on the bridge played normally. I decided to launch Camtasia, record once Shadow's segment of the cutscene end. How pathetic, Shadow said as a strange bubble flashed over the screen. Find them before they escape. The cutscene was playing normally, until Maria's pause showed up. Sound was messed up. The audio was saying, all the people do it, I beg. All the people I do it, I beg. All the people I beg. No, I beg, no. But the word no was in Shadow's voice. The cutscene played over itself for a moment, overlapping then. The cutscene stopped short and went straight to the stage. Once I started playing the game, I break through the pursuing military, but all the letters were grayed out except from the letters grayed out were A in break, R in through, I in Bazinkin, M in military, and A in military. In the background, I saw Maria's head. Shoulders from an odd top angle, her eyes were really dark, almost black. She was sort of staring at Shadow out of the left corner of her eye. I took a screenshot but closed Camtasia because Dolphin was, again, did not like Camtasia. Played for the stage, I never lost sight of it, even if it was a back, dress, feet, hair, one eye, or finger. She was there. I decided to pause the game, launch Camtasia again. At this point, I didn't even care about the lag, I just wanted to capture this. A few seconds after pausing, I beat one of the GUN robots, and the Drelled and prison cutscene started playing over the game. But the text and special effects went on it, just gelled, just sitting there. But it stored the colours of the game. It was kind of like what happened with the intro, but Gerald was just tearing the graphics instead of final. The cutscene clearly had dominance over the other graphics. About halfway through the cutscene, Maria started fading out of the game scene, with poses with different angles, even with everything else happening. The game was perfectly fine. One pose shocked me, however, was Maria on her back with her legs spread awkwardly, allowing the camera to catch a shot of some special parts. Maria was blocking her face with her hands. I decided to pause the game, start recording. I said in severe blurred out at the end so you couldn't make it out. I didn't realize it till I paused it, but I have been playing the entire time before I paused. Rather well, actually. I was impressed with myself. There was no pose I caught my eye though. One of them Maria completely naked holding a pose during the Shadows Past cutscene on the control panel. This was again disturbing, as another pose of Maria naked showed her legs were red. But it looked like the hair. Blood? Sonic Games or Sonic Retro Adorable doesn't even have blood graphic. And again, this is a screen capture cropped in onto her own legs. Once I beat the stage, the game began counting my rings. Instead of a count rank S, just a shot of Maria's face was shown as stage faded out. Normally, After Radical Highway, the cutscene with Sonic finding Shadow at the top of the big robot with Chaos Emerald starts playing, but that was not even there. They didn't put me in headquarters. In fact, they skipped straight headquarters like Colony, weapons bay, security order, and saw the cutscene before White Jungle. Shadow was walking through the forest, the cutscene was normal. Shadow picked up the talkie. It's Rouge voice playing normally. This is Rouge, I got blah blah. The subtitles looking in. The subtitles read, Gerald, all the people do it, all the scientists. The audio continued normally. The next subtitles even say, I can't believe I'm trapped inside this locked safe with A. They said, sits on the ark, when I wake, when I sleep, they love, they do the thing. Continuing instead of Chaos Emerald, so I become out call myself A, to a I don't know why it hurts, I can't walk, I'm dead. Instead of treasure hunter anymore, it read Rock Down by Gerald. No. Countdown of Eggman's bombs showed them screen flash while Maria was shown leaning over the control panel. It does this in cutscenes normally, but the game froze there and the audio stopped. I thought Dolphin was lagging and so I opened Microsoft Notepad and jotted down the subtitles, hoping to make some sense of them later. As I decided to launch Camtasia, it took a minute to load, but when it did, it didn't even start recording because there's nothing happening anymore. I looked up Task Manager to see how much CPU the computer was using, so I decided to keep Camtasia open or close it. The whole computer was peaking at 50% or idling about 10. Looked excellent for Dolphin, especially when the Camtasia Dolphin was still running, according to Task Manager. So I started here, which I pinned as GameCube start button to skip the cutscene. Windows sent me a beep saying I enter, doesn't do anything. I minimized Camtasia, clicked on Dolphin, so I clicked on Dolphin, so when I hit it again, Dolphin would get it. But before I hit, I noticed the side behind my head were kind of looking. I stared for a minute, see if his face was bad there, and I noticed a few odd patches where the stars were missing. I took a screenshot, closed Camtasia so I wouldn't kill my PC saving this. Then I opened paint.net so I could save the screenshot. I stared at this shot for a few minutes. I noticed that the patches of the missed star were what else I spelled kill. I saved the file, even outlined the missed stars and saved another photo. I clicked on Dolphin once again, pressed enter. The sound played at the screenshot stage 9 White Jungle 1, which should go through Jungle 10 minutes. Like in High Highway, all the layers in the text will get away, except from the couple. The word cut, the T, the through, the R in on through, the E in the J in jungle, the U in jungle, the L in jungle. The explanation point, I never made sense of these. I waited for level to load. When it started, I saw Maria in the sky with a blank expression, looking down on Shadow, but sort of towards the screen at the same time. Absorbing every detail of her indescribable face, and answer logic must have left my mind because I told myself not to play anymore. I came with a good excuse to take a break and figure out these messages. I took a screenshot of Radical Highway, only to look for seconds before I figured out less about Maria, which pretty confident. I wanted to take a shot at the subtitles I jotted down a moment ago. I first struggled altogether in my Windows Notepad. Gerald, all the people do it. All the scientists on the ark. When I wake, when I sleep, they look, they do things. I don't know why it hurts. I cannot work. I was drawn down by Gerald. No. They look, they do things. When I sleep, I wake. All the scientists do these things. All the scientists would do something to her when she was sleeping. Some experiment they were doing on her. Gerald was trying to cure Maria's neuroimmunity deficiency syndrome. Maybe he was trying to cure Maria during her sleep. Then I remembered Maria's pictures on Maria naked, and one where her legs were red. Oh my god, I said out loud. Did Gerald's and the other scientists commit these acts to her? I stood up, paced around the room for a while, occasionally glanced out the computer screen, refreshing my memory of details of Maria's face. This experience was starting to make sense though. Gerald drove down Maria, and the scientist jumped her. It's why she likes Shadow so much. He never touched her or harmed her. This is starting to fill some plot holes of Sonic Adventure 2 though. Shadow does mention Gerald building the Eclipse Cannon, and that part of Shadow is indeed experiment to make weapons of mass destruction, not to cure neuroimmunity syndrome. In the Japanese version of Sonic X, I remember that Maria was onto the Ark because the disease was so contagious and deadly. If immunity syndrome was so contagious, that means all the scientists of the Ark got it and couldn't leave. This gives a reason why the GUN raid. Gerald gave him weapons of mass destruction, Eclipse Cannon, Shadow. So Gina killed everyone on board, not to spread disease or use any weapons. Gerald was arrested. However, was possibly so they're going to ask him how to use Shadow and the cannon. Two informations that they never got. So they locked it up. If the scientists have the disease, that would mean they had nothing to live for, which explains their actions. I still find it hardest to believe. Take it all at once. I mean, seriously, how old is Maria? How could so? So what the hell could Sega be thinking? Sega usually does plot twists in the games, but not this far. I don't. But now I think about it, there's a lot of plot holes in Sonic Adventure 2 that got filled. A lot of the garbage in Shadow the Hedgehog game that would never happen. For example, Shadow didn't leave Maria to a dead end where he was shot in the Shadow game. The fact led Shadow to the cryogenic tube while he was already wounded, where she launched Shadow out of the arc and died as she pulled the lever. It's obvious in Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic X for Shadow revives the Shadow to our life. Honestly, it's not dark as it used to be. I still believe Sonic Adventure 2 plot point was so sketchy because Sonic Team had to remove all the other ghosts plot elements last minute, just like Genocide City from Sonic, just normal Sonic 2. It's still a game, you just need to use like some old beta and link the enemies together. Just that doesn't same with that, but if she was, that game had no graphics when you load on level. I think Shadow the Hedgehog was only existed to cover the nonsense in Sonic Adventure 2. After a logic session, I found myself seeing and staring at the tears on her face. I couldn't stop feeling sorry for her. She's an innocent girl, always finding no expressions or prying no light to understanding expressions. For these men, no, these monsters, to crush her spirit, it's humane. Through the viewing, I found myself calm and began playing out the level. As I couldn't get my mind off me, the image of a sexual position faded in out the background. It made a matter be hard to ignore. The start of the take kill faded gradually into the memory. Placed himself together these positions of her. My logical conclusion that Maria was killed during these acts. First the star said kill, or maybe Maria possibly wanted someone to be killed. This doesn't make sense. I thought myself, I remember something I still away in memory. When I was a child, I had a series of similar experiences with the neighbor. The game was called Doctor. I still remember the words, let's play Doctor in the building. Her obsession with pine needles and blackberries. It's a painful subject. It went off for a couple of days before parents of us found both captured the act. I never thought again. I came to decision to figure out I was damaged though. No experience, once I realized what actually happened, severely affected some of the major decisions in my life. One terrifying experience, demented, weird, somewhat scanned, but I had so much help to point out a problem. This girl though, she was alone. Full of men. Her experience was really horrible. She didn't have the help that I got. She died on the ark, used a rabbit over and thrown into the garbage. If only she was real, she probably would have got the help that I did. Once I beat the Wild Jungle level, I got a rank with his face. The game instantly flashed to a cutscene of Sonic and Shadow going super. But Maria was fading out scene. I got Camtasia back up, so I recording it up until halfway through the scene. At this point, the camera completely zoomed into Shadow, cut Sonic out. Cutscene ended, the game took me complete back screen. Shadow's animation was frozen, his shading was bland. His power ore was missing. Live and Learn was still playing, but very slowed down to a point it was very choppy. The background was fading out, many different harsh burning colours. A submarine in the background, always on top of the colours. It looked like she was falling while holding her chest. Her shading was very dark coloured. I pressed up the keyboard and saw her move forward. The controls were very stiff, it didn't feel like Sonic Adventure 2 at all. The camera was stiff too. I saw a chair with Jelson and some white terrace at the top of the screen. For all the fuel on this planet, kill him. By then I knew Bird General was first thing for her. I floated around him for a second, looking at angles. He didn't look exactly like Joe for the cutscene. Maybe this Bayer model or something. And I thought after some second, text appeared as the original one did. Shadow do it for me, so we could be happy. I press X on the keyboard, which I pinned as GameCube's attack button. Shadow's pose changes the ability he holds when he's attacking the final hazard. The game froze. Thank you was shown on white text and black background. The phone was by the corner. After minutes, I pressed a button that pressed every control for the game. Then, every button on my keyboard, nothing happened. I started to save recording so I won't lose it. Closed Dolphin, then started recording. Went off Dolphin, and load Sonic. The thank you screen was immediately there. No single logo, no license, just Nintendo just thank you. We really want to kill Joe for things she did to her, and the other scientists. Revenge dragging her down. Or doing it's disgusting. But helping Maria Carlo revenge made me happy. Now Maria can rest in peace. Maybe that's why Sonic Adventure 2 at the end says rest easy heroes, but instead of that, it just says thank you. You're welcome, Maria. Additional message. I'm a 3D artist freelancer before I continue. I want to mention the entire thing is fake. The gel robotic at the end was made by me with the help of some apps and more kept it down over there on my thing. I used 3D Ripper DX to rip Maria's from Shadow's past cutscene and blend with the current director its textures. We move her lengthy eyelash, which is interesting as ripped from the GameCube when Maria didn't even have eyelashes. Maria needs crazy picture of her. There's no top-down angle from Maria in Sonic Adventure 2, which added some realism. The message of Macleod again, I must say, thank you for reading.
Robots in his path. Stay tuned for
Sounds
more
more
details.
like the work of Shadow. How pathetic. Find them before they escape! Maria!
All the people.
Maria!
All the people.
Maria!
All the people.
Maria!
The big.
No!
The big.
No!
The big.
No!
The big.